USA.
Now recording. Is Bo still here?
Oh no, did he? We can't hear you, Bo, if you're saying anything.
Great.
Oh, wait,
No,
say something
now
again.
we do.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know why. What happened?
We can hear you now.
Oh, I'm good. Sorry.
Weird.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah.
Good.
So,
All right, there we go. Bam. Got my Sun Kiss, the antagonist to Slice.
It's less for you, Bubby.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Nobody gets our references.
Yeah, what you got there? Is that some Mountain Dew Pitch Black? What you got?
Oh no, it's just electrolyte water.
Oh, that's I've been fiending. Have you tried the Mountain Dew Pitch Black? It's quite nice.
No, is that the one that they came out when The Dark Knight was out?
Yeah, I think so.
And they just changed it where it's not
maybe.
Batman?
No. This was around before that.
I think they first released it during the Chronicles of Riddick.
That if there is a sponsor for a Riddick movie, it's Mountain Dew.
You goddamn right.
That makes so much sense.
That would be pretty funny.
No,
So I was thinking of a intro, but I think it's too cheesy. So
lay it on.
Well, I was gonna say, like welcome to Geek-Men and the Thunder Nerds, and then I would say Thunder, and then you would say Thunder, and then Bo would say Thunder, and we would then all join in and say, Thunder Nerds ho. But again, that's really cheesy. So I was like,
somewhat cheesy enough to work.
I'm down for whatever.
I know. I wish we could have a full-on pixel bit animated intro like Neebs Gaming.
Good Lord, I can't remember who did that, but that thing's great.
It is so amazing. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, God, this is so good. And then like, I want to be on a mountaintop and just tally hawk. And then whoever animates it, I want the hawk to like land on my leg or land on my forearm. But then there's a blur at its crotch for no reason.
And then he hands you a Pop-Tart.
Yeah. Strawberry. Oh yeah. Don't show me a blueberry Pop-Tart. I get offended.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh.
God.
I hope I never taste that again.
You get offended by blueberry Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
Oh God, has he never told you that story?
Mm-mm.
I've heard it, but it still never gets old.
I didn't know if I told you that one or not. Being stuck in the desert, living off Pop-Tarts. It's not my finest hour.
I just feel like it's a form of punishment, not survival. Don't worry, you'll have all you need to eat. We promise.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny because it's like they had orders to take pallets apart and like give like different bases and stuff, and because we weren't on a base, we were at a refueling station. Like, and when I say refueling station, it was basically a hill with a tarp.
Okay.
And we had constructed we took like wood that we found or we scavenged from different trucks and stuff, and in containers that held water and fuel, and we filled them up with sand and water to make weights, and we built our own gym, and we turned it into like a mini just camp, and that was a refueling station.
Nice.
So you're saying like everybody was supposed to get like one pallet of Pop-Tarts and one pallet of something else and something else and something else.
Yeah, we were supposed to get like water, MREs, and Pop-Tarts, but for some reason they're like, here's some Pop-Tarts. We'll see you in a month.
God. So does that mean other facilities got like nothing but MREs
Yeah,
and nothing but water?
but see, MREs have Pop-Tarts in them.
Oh.
They're just not, but they're not called Pop-Tarts. They're called like fruit pastry. To avoid, it's in a
toasties.
it's in a green Ziploc bag, and it's called like fruit toasties, and it's not like, yeah. Here,
Well, I feel sorry for you.
eh. Don't cry for me, Argentina. But I know there's no way to really show this in if in podcast form, but I'll post a picture of this in chat for anyone that wants to see. I was digging through some old hard drives, and I found like old photos of stuff, and I came across this one, and that was our little tent/gym that we built.
Guess we should do that.
Oh wow.
That's really smart to just.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come, if you want to invite like people to the Discord or wherever, they can come see.
Nice.
And in the background, you can see the vehicle that we rode in, and that was what I got blown up in.
Jeez.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
Good times. But yeah, anybody got any I'm kind of sort of prepared for stuff this morning, actually.
Nice.
I watched a the Valifair reveal stream.
Okay.
It came on last night at like 8:00, so I popped in and there was a bunch of new reveals and stuff. And so if you're a Valaverse fan, my God,
Yeah,
so they're coming with 3 new weapon packs, the Echo Golf and Foxtrot, and they're all new weapons. So everything that's been out already, and if you happen to get that big container of all the weapons, none of the stuff that's coming in these new boxes are in those. So this is all new stuff, and 3 new containers of things. I think Echo and Golf are going to be the money makers, because Echo has the lever action, has a tactical lever action in it,
Nice.
and they all come with muzzle effects and the new smoke effects that they're introducing now, so you can have like smoke from your barrel. And then Golf, I should probably post in pictures or something like that, but that's the moneymaker. It's got a full Gatling gun, like straight up T2, with blast effects, and then on the side, it has an attachment that looks like shells are just spitting out.
Oh, that's sick.
It looks so good. The barrel spins and everything. I was like, oh man, I need like 8 of those.
We haven't done smoke before. I've never seen like.
The only people
It seems kind of obvious, but nobody's really. I mean, Cyclops' eyes, they have like effects for after he's recently shot it, but I've never seen it on guns before, really.
I think Mezco's been doing it for a while.
Has Mezco done it?
I think so.
I think.
I mean, and I know Hasbro does it now. Like they just started doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
a little late to the game there,
yeah,
Chief.
yeah. Because God forbid they got to spend money on a new mold. And
Unless they can make money off of that new mold, like those Power Rangers.
well, that's the problem. The problem with Hasbro is they already have all these molds that people keep buying, so they're like, well, of course I'm going to release a Bucky Cap in 2023.
People, if you want them to stop, just stop buying it.
Yeah.
And speaking of live streams, to pivot off the Valifair, but did you guys catch the last Hasbro Marvel Legends one?
I just saw
I did
pics.
not.
I
No.
didn't see any.
I watched it. I watched it, but dude, here I am again. Like it's been months now, and I haven't been excited for a Marvel Legend. It's weird. It's almost like because I was afraid. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna quit Marvel Legends, and then I thought for sure they were gonna release something and be like, oh yeah, you know, you really need this. But man, I haven't really wanted anything, so it's
Right.
been kind of nice.
How much was
There's nothing to worry about then.
There's nothing to worry about.
Easier
how much
on your
was
wallet.
that Gamerverse? How much was that Gamerverse Spider-Man?
So
Like, what was the retail? Because I have something to point out. Like, how much was that at retail?
It's 30. Oh, I can bring it up right now. I'm my going off memory. It was the going off memory. It was $35.
So that
But
was reuse, limited, limited accessories, just a new paint job, $35.
yeah, because it's Renew Val's body, but the same paint deco from a figure we've already got.
So for $30,
So let's see.
I got this massive chunk of plastic
Oh,
electronics. For anybody, I need to take a picture. It's the movie Bowser from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
oh
This
my
thing
God!
lights up, shoots smoke out of its mouth, is articulated. This thing, even though it doesn't need to be articulated, it's articulated. $30. This is like 3 or 4 of those Spider-Man figures.
Jeez.
And a really nice paint job. I'm really impressed with the paint job on it. It has like a fade on the tail and everything. Like,
Yeah,
good
that
job.
does look really nice.
Yeah, I had to. I bought the Mario figures. I had to.
All of them? Did you get all of them?
No, not all of them. I got Luigi and Mario and Bowser. I didn't really.
That's still pretty. God, something about their eyes creeps me the fuck out.
No, because they can.
They're
I'm
glassy,
looking.
man.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, it's like no matter where you walk in the room, Mario's looking at you.
And you know
You
the
know?
little. Here's something else they didn't have to do, and I don't know why they did it, but they did. You know the little rivet on your pocket on your jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one little teeny tiny rivet, they actually painted it.
Wow.
Like there's no reason. Like you wouldn't have noticed if they hadn't done it, but they did it. And yeah, I had to get
Yeah, that's
Mario
pretty wild.
Look at that.
with his plunger.
God,
It's me, Mario.
It does.
I really like it. Also got my what was it? My Masterverse. Oh God, hold on. Sorry, people. I'll try and take pictures and put them in chat.
Damn, we should have did pickups. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Is that that's the new He-Man, right?
Yeah, New Adventures He-Man.
Jesus.
A little stiff in the joints, but overall it's a pretty good figure, especially for the price. It wasn't like this wasn't like one of their deluxe figures. I figured it would be deluxe, but it's not.
I know with all those accessories.
Yeah, but they could have charged 30 if they wanted to. They didn't. It was I think this is like I think I had like a coupon, so I ended up paying like 18 or something for it.
Nice.
Huh.
So
Hey, nice.
of course I just want to. Did y'all get any pickups with your toys?
I just got the packages that just got in. I got Animal Warriors of the Kingdom looking right at me.
Nice.
Got Pale right here. Oh man,
Yeah.
God, and then
Can we
Trey.
tell people that you send us pictures from work with your
Yeah.
You took
Yeah,
to
I
work?
took it. I took it into the office with me, and I was
So good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get mine soon.
Yeah, you just got the shipping notification, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took about after I got the initial ship notification, it was like a week. It's like a full week. And then
Well, I guess there's been some drama going on with well, maybe I shouldn't say drama, but going on in the world of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
really?
Yeah, just well, because he's been doing it all by himself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a long story. So there's like several boxes and pallets that they UPS nor USPS has picked up in a while, and they're just sitting there waiting on them. and they missed their pickups, and he was asking the group for, hey, does anyone have experience like dealing with this? So I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he's
unfortunately.
not a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so if it's just one dude, like trying to get these things shipped out, like how many?
Well,
There's no
well, he,
telling how many he had pre-ordered, right? Like,
well. In his defense, I mean, Hasbro is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and we've seen their distribution.
Right.
You know, so
yeah,
if you have to wait a couple of extra days, you know, because it's
Oh
gonna get
yeah.
sorted. I have faith it's gonna get sorted out. It's the unfortunate thing is it's the human element, you know, and when it comes to shipping, there's a huge human element, and they have to do inventory, and some people are slower than others,
Yeah.
you know. So it'll get sorted out. It's a shame. I hate it for people, you know. But
Yeah, I don't know. I've done those scheduled pickups with USPS and UPS and whatnot, and they didn't even ever acknowledge or even get that they were supposed to pick up a package. I like
yeah,
ran out to there and I was like, "Hey, you forgot this," and he was like, "What do you mean?
yeah, it's
Is
nuts.
this something you're mailing out?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I marked the indicator on where to pick it up, and you didn't." And he's just like, "Oh, I wasn't notified that I was supposed to pick anything up ever." So I don't know if he'll, I don't know,
just
figure out a way to
just think
get this
about it,
sorted
people.
out. But
It exists. Like, it's not like the toy doesn't exist. We know it exists, and we know
oh
that
yeah,
this ready to get picked up. I would, yeah, just wait a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just be patient. That's all I would say. And
Be like 2 months out, then yeah, maybe like, okay,
yeah,
where's
yeah,
mine at? But
yeah, just yeah. And but I will say that I can back up everybody else that's been talking about them, and it's worth the wait. They're really good. Like
yeah,
they're on my desk, and I mess with them constantly just because they're so fun.
yeah,
I would.
Yeah,
I'm sore, but I'm going to point it out. No drop down hips, and they're still really articulated. So,
I
and
think
they
I
could do
think
better splits than Spider Man.
well, yeah. I mean, their engineering on them is really good, but I I, I second your claim. I'm not a fan. I don't think drop down hip is worth it. Like I don't
It's
think it.
risk versus reward. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not.
yeah. Because I mean, I would rather I'll take a ball joint any day.
See, I
And
was going to order that silver the Space Ranger with his motorcycle that was really cheap. It was like $30 or something. I'm like, oh great, you get a bike too,
hmm
and it's not a
mm,
Walgreens exclusive this time. Great, but they're using that new body on them, and I think from here on out they're using drop down hips on Power Rangers.
hmm
And so I was like, nah.
it's
Been
not.
burnt too many times.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
man.
I'm pretty much done with Power Rangers. I collected my main set, but the main players, but I don't know.
I keep getting pulled in by these like the crossovers. They keep getting me. You know, like the Ninja Turtles and now the Street Fighter. But I've only got Ryu. I haven't got Ken and Cammy and Chun Li yet because I'm waiting for sales.
Yeah,
Yeah, because man, they're I love that Ryu. I love it. I have it right here. It's on my desk. It's so cool. Like it's such a cool figure.
mm,
And and uh, he's a lot. For some reason in my mind, when I saw pictures of him, I thought he'd be bigger. I don't know why. You know. But then when
yeah,
he's about the size of a Power Ranger, and it's not that I'm saying that's a negative, but he's still really good. But at the same time, I still feel it was a bit overpriced.
yeah,
Yeah, for what you get. I mean, because I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. This same price is this. I mean,
For
so
clarification, he's holding up a Animal
yes,
Warrior
yeah,
with
yeah, my
a
bad.
no accessories Ryu.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, he came with all these like fire effects and
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I
yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah,
I'll take it back. He did come
yeah.
with
He
accessories.
he 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 did come with accessories, but the Animal Warriors came with weapons to hold, more than enough weapons to hold in one hand and a shield. And then Pale comes with a lot of accessories. Pale came with like 1, 2, 3, 4, like sorry, 4, 5 weapons.
Hmm.
You know, and yeah. So and it's a lot more plastic. I guess for some reason in my brain I equate more plastic equals more money. I think that's how it should work. I don't know.
It should maybe that
Yeah,
and tooling, but yeah, that
yeah, yeah,
that would still make Hasbro. They should be cheaper.
yeah.
Not really. They're not making new things really.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to like, I hate to keep bashing Hasbro, but have y'all seen that new Star Wars? It's been like all over social media. The carbonized 2-pack that just got announced. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
No,
Yeah.
explain this to
For
me. Yeah, and listeners, because
so the Ned B that was in the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? They're packaging that in a 2-pack with the Purge Trooper that they released as another. I think that was I think it was a Target exclusive. I might be wrong, but
Mm.
either way, these are two characters that have never crossed paths or correlated in any way in a 2-pack, carbonized, and all that means is they're a little bit shinier. 2-pack, $75.
Yeah, that's
I
outrageous.
like one's not an action figure, right?
Well, they're technically both. They're technically action figures. Do you want to? I'll post a listing in the chat for you
Please do. I want to look at this.
and yeah, just so you can have context. But if people listening, they've seen that, and the moment I saw it, I was like, okay, it's a 2-pack of figures that were technically exclusives, you know. So, but you can get the exclusives. I think Ned is like on Amazon for on sale. Matter of fact,
Wouldn't surprise
and
me.
yeah, let's see. See if I can find.
3-pack with that general. I can't think of his name. Is it Hux?
Yeah,
And they re-released like a bunch of droids with him and stuff, and that thing was like really overpriced. It's only like just now, I think, like what?
Anything sequel trilogy related and is outrageous. Is overpriced in my opinion.
well, I mean
It's really funny because nobody really wants merch from those movies. I mean, there's a
yeah.
couple of characters people like, but
Well, even that Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano, and Grogu 3-pack, they call that a 3-pack.
Oh.
It's $65.
yeah, Grogu's an accessory. I love him, but
Yeah,
he's not an action figure.
which we need to get into on the show when we bring it up.
Yeah.
My like,
We'll
I feel
just
like
segue into it. Why don't we just talk? We all watched The Mandalorian.
yeah, I I feel like the way you said that, he's an accessory, and I was like, it's starting to feel like in that last episode more than anything, I was like, Goku is just something that is just tagged along for merchandise from this point on. Yeah.
Right.
Can I tell you my theory behind this?
Lay it on me.
I think the Book of Boba Fett messed everything up because
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
I mean, just in terms of how they were going to tell the story of the Mandalorian, because they did that Marvel thing where everything's got to connect to everything,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh well, he should just show up in the Book of Boba Fett, so we need something like there. I feel like they took the season premiere and they turned that into an episode of Book of Boba Fett, and that kind of took the the grandeur of a season premiere out. And I think that episode that we got, I think that was supposed to be like a third episode, like just a kind of filler to get us to where we need to go.
Yeah, and that was my biggest critique that it hit me as we were talking about, and I was telling Dustin I was kind of like really lukewarm to the season premiere, and I
Mm.
felt like
It was okay. It was just, I think.
it didn't feel like anything like, hey, we're back. It was more. I honestly felt that the Mando episode in Book of Boba was better than this episode.
Because I honestly think, and I think the Grogu stuff, I bet you it was supposed to, I feel like it was supposed to happen at the end of the season. So we
Maybe.
had more time because now John Favreau's just come out and said, like, yeah, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
since he left. And it's like, but has it?
Yeah.
And plus, what's 2 years in Star Wars time? Like, if you traveling at light speeds to other planets, like, wouldn't 2 years be like 100 to Grogu or something?
It would
Depending on where you're at.
it would have been better to have a season of Mando without Grogu to signify it's been 2 years and have
Yeah,
that time pass and that we can feel it as an audience instead of just like, oh, they're back together. They're 2 years apart, but it feels like it was yesterday.
yeah. And then of course, I was fearful that they did it, and I think they have. I don't think he's going to be doing any bounty hunting this season.
Well, he can't.
Well, yeah, because of that ship. But I feel like that was when he got that ship. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's so great." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." And then I got to thinking, like, man,
Where's it going to put the cargo?
Yeah, he purposely built a seat for Grogu and everything. I'm like, they're not doing any bounty hunting next season, are they? And it just sounds like it's going to be all Mandalore stuff, really, about him.
Well, yeah, I think that's what it was. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Let me back up. I don't think that Bo-Katan was relevant. And what I mean by that is she had all those Mandalorians backing her, and she didn't have the Darksaber. So by going and then quote unquote failing the mission to defeat Moff Gideon, now all of a sudden they're just abandoning her and saying, "All right, peace out. We're going on our own way."
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense. My buddy Eric and I were talking about this. It's just like that. It just didn't feel right.
He has the sword, right? He has the Darksaber.
Yeah.
That automatically makes him the ruler of Mandalore. He could have just
he doesn't
chased
want
the rules. Yeah, he doesn't want it, but like, if the title's his, it's too bad. It's his.
Right.
And he's like, I had to take my helmet off for it. I had a good reason to do it. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I'd be like, yeah, it doesn't. But rule change. Sorry.
Right.
Like, if I care this much about my own lore, and if I care this much about it, and I took my helmet off, doesn't that tell you that it was very important?
Right.
Well, that
saved the galaxy.
I just find it so funny that they're an offshoot of Mandalore. That cult, they're an offshoot. The Mandalorians don't even follow, so the actual important Mandalorians don't follow none of their rules. The one that they do follow is the Darksaber, but the Darksaber is basically a keychain to Mando. Like, he doesn't care about it at all. He's just like, "Oh, do you mean this thing?" And it's just so funny. Yeah, it would have been funny if he would have been like, "Yeah, let's just change the rules. You can. It's the law." Well, the Darksaber I have right here in my hand.
It's like you're saying you're a Christian. Like, let's say Mandalorians are Christians, and this cult is like Presbyterians.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't mean that they're not Christians. It's like, follow the rules. I have this Darksaber. We know what they say about the Darksaber. I'm saying I don't. I'm a Mandalorian now. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Still a Mandalorian.
Still a Mandalorian. I mean,
well, and like, and who says that the armorer has any say over anything? I'm the one holding the Darksaber.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm your boss now, technically.
Right.
Yeah. She's going around telling him, like. Plus, he left. She told him, like, "Oh, you can't be." Here's another one of those things I feel like they really messed up the time. She says, "Oh, you took off your helmet. You can't be you're not a Mandalorian anymore." And he leaves. And he just goes gets Grogu and comes back. He's like, "Yeah, so about that, am I a Mandalorian?" And she's like, "No, you're still not a Mandalorian. You gotta go do this." I'm like, "Why did they?"
Well, that's the funny thing. You could have told him
this before.
That's another issue. She's like, "Yeah, there is a way of redemption, but it doesn't exist anymore."
Yeah,
it's like Catholicism being like, "Oh no, we got rid of those confession boxes, dog."
So how do I get rid of sin? Oh, you're going to hell. Sorry,
you don't. One and done, buddy.
Well,
hope you like Texas.
Wouldn't do it. I just imagine one of those church signs, where they put up like passages for the book or anything. It just says "one and done, son."
One and done, son. Burn in hell. Oh, oh God. See, I can't even ask forgiveness for that, according to Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's getting to I mean, I I'm trying to think of a way to word this without being offensive. Like I
Oh,
don't,
it's offensive. We're
huh?
already offending people
Well,
that.
yeah, it's true. It's true. But it's like, dude, like I've already got like this huge problem with authority, but it has to be. It's strange. Like I went in the military. Everybody's like, how did you survive that? And I'm like, well, there's good authority and there's bad authority. There's authority that makes sense, and there's authority that you're like, why? Like and to me, the Jedi, and now that the offshoot, the Death Watch or whatever you call them, and the Mandos, they're starting to get into that territory of like, you guys are kind of stupid. Like,
Right.
like you need to be a little bit more flexible with your rules, and because as being somebody who's seen it firsthand, things when it comes to the battlefield or anything like that, that things aren't black and white. You live in the gray. You live in the gray, and that's how you survive. And and I think that's a way that a lot life should be, or factions should be. You should be in that gray. You should be able to live in the gray, and black and white it just shows how stupid you are and how unflexible you are. Does that make
Yeah.
Kind
sense?
of like how
Yeah.
Obi-Wan says only a Sith deals in absolute, but that was an absolute.
Yeah, I'm like, you literally just cut your head off.
Yeah. The problem is, this is what will get me off the show quicker than anything. It's when the show goes out of their way, and this is just the show. These are the movies. The show exists after Return of the Jedi,
Mhm.
and yet everything is still in the universe. Everybody's still acting like it's the midst of we're still an empire. Like there's still this
Yeah,
overbearing thing. The Jedi are still perfectly good, and all this stuff. I'm
the,
like, you've told this story. You've told us how it should be now, and you're not sticking
yeah,
to those rules, and it's bothering me.
yeah. I think they should be open to change, because I really like that. Like when he went to that city, and that's what showed how much time had passed, because that city looked nice. You know,
Yeah,
the the what was his title? High
High
something. Yeah,
Magistrate.
High Magistrate that he kept reminding everybody of. But that's cool. That shows that time has passed. And the whole time he's like, I need a marshal. I need a marshal. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you got Cobb Vanth in like a back to tank somewhere. It's been 2 years. Like,
Yeah,
well, let's see it.
yeah.
And there's your Cobb Vanth show. He's the marshal of that town now.
yeah,
Was really like yeah.
that would
Like
be
we
cool.
should talk about the good of the show. That was a great part. It
That
really
was
felt like
that
a
was the
western.
that was the highlight. Like he was going to what was once a beaten down town, and now it's a bustling trade station. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Because I like space towns. I think space towns
Mhm.
are just, when you show those, like that in shows, are just like, I don't know. It reminded me of Firefly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, real Firefly vibe.
yeah. I like that stuff. But yeah, it's hard to when you when you when you when you really put me on the spot there and be like, hey, come out with a positive. Like,
oh no, I could give positives all
oh,
day.
go for
I
it.
I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but I'm
What do you
also
got?
enjoying it because it was fun. Like the way Grogu was spinning around in the chair, all carefree and stuff, and how he just like was like someone at a tennis match that just looks back and forth to people. Just his expressions were funny,
Yeah.
and I think that was like very good to have a lighthearted aspect to the show. But if I had to nitpick, the two things that I was nitpicking is the Bo-Katan thing and how those people were following her without the dark saber, and then all of a sudden just disappear, and that's why she's all broody and bitchy, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But the other thing I didn't like was IG-88 or IG-11. how he's like, oh, I need that droid. And he goes to, as soon as he just plugs power into it, now all of a sudden he's rebooted in a killer robot.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, Queel assured it was completely gone. All of that memory bank was completely gone and erased. He had to relearn everything.
Yeah.
And so that just didn't make sense to me that, oh, now all of a sudden he just had a long reset and is now a murder robot again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, because that wasn't his like first mission.
No.
Right.
No.
I know it wasn't.
Like, so he just when he reverted back to like his initial. God, I don't even, if you want to stretch it that far, he would have went back to his first bounty.
Right.
Like, what random thing was that? You know.
Or his first activation.
Yeah,
Right. Or
but yeah, immediately he just like, oh, it's like he had what was it, a backup save?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Like he's Windows XP. Like, oh, what was the last thing I saved at? Oh, right, I was trying to kill a baby.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't fit because Queel assured him that it was not a thing anymore.
No,
and that you
it's
can
clear
trust him.
they wanted to bring it back, and then you
Yeah.
can sell more toys, and it's just like a really bad character resurrection. Like
They just needed an excuse to back him into a corner to where, okay, I can't trust all droids. Can't trust that droid. He was my friend, but now I need to go find a new droid. So he's going to go get R5 that we've all seen in the previews, and he's going to explore Mandalore with that.
Yeah,
they could have introduced something else. They could have brought back a plethora of characters that he's met to go out there and help him.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand. I thought when it was such a cool thing when they walked to the town and he had that moment where he's like, "Hey, you remember your friend?" And he was immortalized in that little statue, to show that it's like, oh yeah, he's the reason this town exists. He sacrificed himself.
Away from the sacrifice.
I was like, that's cool, like to have weight to his victory, that what he did. And then as soon as he said, I need that droid, it's like, let's completely kill that.
Yeah, I think it just diminished his sacrifice overall for it just, I don't know, I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah.
Those were my two main gripes.
And plus it contradicts, I mean, back to the whole Quill thing. And then you remember when he came back and he wanted to have his ship repaired, and then and now he's like okay with having droids work on his ship because it was a character like development. He's like, I'm okay with droids now, but now I'm back to being not okay with droids. Only that droid.
Well, I think it was because he had an attachment to it, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's clear that they, I feel like it's the shows that we end up loving, the ones that last like 4 or 5 seasons. They're great. Is they go in and they have a game plan. They know how it's going to end. They know how it's going to begin, and they have plot points for things they need to hit.
Yeah.
And I feel like they had the beginning, and they got lucky with that second season. I feel like okay, they still got the rhythm of it, but then it's like Disney was like, oh, this thing's going to be a success. We need to like shoehorn in everything else at Star Wars, so we can sell more stuff, and we Marvelized it where everything's connected, and it's they're not the stars of their own show anymore.
Yeah, and it just kills momentum, dude. Like the end of season two, like they had it was a huge thing. He took off his helmet for everybody, said goodbye to Grogu. We had old CGI Luke Skywalker, and it was like this cool thing, and we rode out on a high note. And then they just undid all of it basically off camera.
What are we gonna do? We gotta have Grogu, and not only that, just undo it to just shoehorn him into Book of Boba Fett, when another character that didn't really he wasn't the star of his own show.
Well, I liked it.
I have my problems. I won't go off on it, but like I wanted to see Boba Fett. I didn't get to see Boba Fett, is what I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a good Boba Fett show.
I thought he was great in The Mandalorian. Like I thought, like especially his fighting and the way and having the slave one. I'm always going to call it the slave one. Um, but
We all know it's the slave one.
we all know it's the slave one. But everything he did in the Mando show when he came in, and he was helping Mando get Grogu
Yeah.
back. That was Boba Fett. I was like, finally, we're seeing this character be what we've always thought he could be. And in the book of Boba Fett, just completely took his knees out.
I don't know. I disagree.
I know, but it went completely against the character, in my opinion. I was like,
Not against the character. It followed a storyline. He's now like it's said multiple times in that series that you're weaker. He's not weaker. He's stronger. You can only make it so far without a tribe. I don't know.
yeah.
I just
Well, I mean, the whole point of his character used to be because even the actor himself, Tamora, he said that when he would sign autographs, he used to get so sick and tired of having to write, "I'm just a man making my way through the galaxy." Like that was his thing, making his way through the galaxy, not sitting in one spot trying to be like a slumlord.
yeah. Well,
You know. I mean, I
I
understand
don't
that
know.
you want to
If they get
retire or
another
something. I don't know.
season, if they get another season, I think they're gonna continue the character in his own right.
I just
Yeah.
want to see him doing Boba Fett things. I don't want to see
Yeah.
him doing it. I don't want to see I don't want Mando to show up and do a bunch of work for him.
Yeah.
I love his his right hand. I love her to death, but I don't want to see her doing a ton of shit.
Yeah, she's cool, but man, I want to see him do Boba Fett things.
Yeah.
And if Mando is not going to do bounty hunting anymore because he can't, then you have Boba Fett doing. You could do bounty hunters because he still has the ship. Still, I mean, and he's. I just keep going back to that one episode in season 2 on the where Grogu is connecting to the little force thing and doing his little his like collect call to the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And Boba Fett is just wrecking those stormtroopers, just wrecking them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, more of this, please.
Yeah.
You just aged yourself. Nobody knows what a collect call is anymore.
Probably.
We'll just dial 1-800-CALL ATT. They'll hook
It
you up.
just took you right on up. Like, would you like
But
to receive? Would you like to receive a call from? Pick me up. I'm at the gas station. Nope.
Good mic use, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Really playing to the audience. Yeah, I feel like they just want to. It's doing the Marvel thing. Like they think people have fun if everything's connected, and we go from
Well,
one
it
story
should
to the
be.
next. Well, yeah, I mean, like it should be. But what I loved about those first couple seasons of Mando is that they were just in the Star Wars universe doing their own thing.
Mm.
And then it was like a treat that Luke showed up. It's like, oh yeah, we love it. But now, like immediately, like Luke's still there, Ahsoka's still there, and I'm like, well, whose show is it really? Whose story are we telling? And it's like when Ahsoka comes out, is Mando just going to show up for a couple episodes and him and Grogu and they do their thing? And I kind of like people. If we're going to explore things in a show, I want it to be a show. I don't want it to be like a movie. Is that weird?
No, you want
I
it to
don't
be
know. I
episodic.
think so.
I'm like, if you're going to do that, just make a movie.
Yeah, just me. Yeah.
No, I don't want to. I don't want another movie. The last trilogy wasn't very good, so I would prefer shows. It's the where George Lucas was going with the show to begin with. He wanted it to be serialized on TV. He was working that deal towards the end before he ended up selling it off.
Yeah. Maybe.
If I get one, all right, we only get one wish for something to get fixed in Star Wars. I don't want to see Tatooine anymore. It's like it's the center hub of the universe somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like in alien movies. They only attack the U.S.
Yeah.
It's like there's others. The whole galaxy far, far away must not be very populated or something.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that.
There's only like 7 planets,
There's
really.
a
There's
great
only, there's
extended
only 7.
universe. You're on the planet that is farthest from, but it'll still repeat in every single movie since.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of being new characters, aren't that? I think that's what Bo's trying to get at is we don't want characters that is connected to the main timeline in any way, because you can. The Mandalorian is this like wonderful pocket if you could have fun in the Star Wars universe but not be connect to the Star Wars universe to be dragged down by the weight of the Star Wars universe.
That's a good. That's what I want to do. Call back to your. It feels like every time they connect to this thing, the story ends up dragging, and
Yes, just stay
something
away
gets
from
sacrificed.
just stay away from it. Just stay away from Luke. Stay away from all that stuff. I understand that you gotta have Jedi, you gotta have stormtroopers, you gotta have all these components because that makes the universe. That's world building. I understand that, but I don't want to see things that are connected to the main storyline. Like,
Or just see characters change traits just to suit those needs. Like,
yeah,
oh well, what it's Star Wars, so we have to have a Jedi in it. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, you don't have to.
yeah, and then there's just too much. Like going back to Book of Boba Fett, it felt like what somebody wanted was somebody was up late and drinking too much box wine and watching that show The Ozark on Netflix, and then they're like, I really want to do this, but I work for Disney. We're gonna make the Book of Boba Fett Ozark. you know, and it's kind of like what Kevin Smith did to He-Man. He had this like story for Superman that he's been holding on to that is awful as it is. It's still his idea, and then somebody gave him the opportunity to write for He-Man, so he shoehorned his idea for Superman into He-Man, and that's how we got the new He-Man show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What about that old like Brainiac thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only seen bits and pieces of that script, but I know they were really adamant about trying to do like a Death and Return of Superman.
Mm-hmm. And that was basically the Revelations. That was his loosely bit Superman story. And I understand, writers where they're coming from, why they would want to do this, because they want to tell their versions of stories, but they have to do it in their realm that they work in,
Yeah.
But I don't know. You're in Star Wars. You telling me you can't come up with some cool shit? Like, it's kind of too easy. I mean, I wish, people like complain on Twitter and stuff. Well, if you think you could do better, then go ahead. I'm like, dude, I wish. Dude, I wish. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy would kick in my door with her stupid face. You know.
Why would she kick in your door? She's just so desperate for Star Wars. Give me
Yeah.
the Star Wars.
Give me the Star Wars. I know you got the Star Wars. I know you got some Star Wars in here.
I heard your podcast.
Yeah,
Give me the Star Wars.
I can do Star Wars a lot better than anything she could do.
He's like, come on, give me more Star Wars. You could be my John Favreau. You could be. How dare he come in with Paul D?
I don't know. I still think that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing a good job. It's still Star Wars to me. It's still good.
I agree, but I would also leave them alone. And
Yes.
I think that's Disney's like, well, we need this and this, and we need you to do this. And they're like, all right, we'll figure out something.
Yeah, because I started getting really worried in season 2 of Mando when they started to kind of slowly doing the whole Snoke stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, and it's not that I just don't. It's not that I'm being like petty and I'm like, don't do that because sequel trilogy sucked. I'm just saying, no, stay away from that. Just say it. I don't care. But dude, just stay away from it. Just stay away from it. It's a galaxy far, far away. It's a galaxy. Like we can do other things. You don't have to do what that they did. So it just, I don't know. But like I said, this was
see that rumor going around though about they were trying to maybe do a Ray Grogu. I had no idea how much doing a Ray Grogu movie.
I heard that as well, and because the goal is to try to get Grogu teamed up with Ray so that they could carry on.
No thanks.
I just why? Like why? Like you've got. Do you not realize the gold that you have here? I mean, the Mandalorian technically, you've got a gold mine because you got Grogu that's going to sell stuff forever, and then you have the Mandalorian who is supposed to leave his helmet on from now on. So if your actor has to leave, big deal. I could shove somebody else in there. It's not like a huge casting changes would would really affect that show. I know a lot of people love Pedro Pascal, but you he, you know you could do without him if you had to.
Mm,
If you had to.
I think he
yeah, I
would
don't know
land
if you
too
had
much,
to,
but
maybe.
yeah, because they could just call it the Mandalorian. It could be about any Mandalorian. It doesn't have to be about Jin
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Jin.
Yeah. But I was even saying like the character. I mean, if you had to recast it, if you had to. I'm not saying that I want to. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
if you had to, because he's supposed to keep his helmet on, you could. I don't know, because I doubt he'll. If he goes and bathes in these waters under the mines and he gets his redemption, even though he's the ruler of Mandalore, and he goes back and proves to this armorer that apparently leads all of Mandalore over him, and the Creed or whatever, and he apparently pleases her. I don't know.
Can I just
So,
say that kid at the beginning, the one with the long hair that was getting inducted into the ways,
Yeah.
he's going to really regret that haircut choice, having to wear that helmet all the time.
yeah. Which brings up which brings up an interesting question. Like, do you cut your own hair if you're a Mandalorian?
Had to.
It's like a bowl cut. You just cut whatever hangs out of the mask.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess you had to be like,
Every single
on the
Mandalorian looks like a death metal singer underneath there.
every Mandalorian looks like Zach Wild under there.
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is, Google him.
I hope everybody knows who Zach Wild is. It's okay. I mean, maybe not by name, but surely
Yeah.
if you've ever enjoyed a guitar that went, wah, that's Zach Wild.
But yeah, that's in canon, in my head canon. That's every Mandalorian now.
Okay, so anyway, back to the kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think that is Paz Vizsla's son?
I don't know.
Actually, might be
Because he not only was standing there watching, and it just felt like he was watching with very close intent and like pride even, and then he even swung around to knock the kid out of the way to block the big crocodile thing that was coming at him.
I don't know, because I think the Mandalorians they're very tight knit anyways, so they would pretty much go out of their way to save one another regardless. That's just the way they are. Very tribal.
Yeah, maybe.
And then how are you going to have kids, man? You got to leave the helmet on.
Life finds a way.
I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do it with a helmet on. I'm just saying that it would be difficult.
You need to put a helmet on your head, but not on your wiener.
I'm just saying, you got
that. A lot of clanking.
A lot of clank. That's what I'm getting at.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yeah. You start getting into the vinegar strokes, things are going to come off.
I want to know if they fired
the armor would.
What? I want to know if they fired the person who booked that event next to the dangerous swamps.
Yeah.
It's like having a wedding in the bayou.
I know they should have had those Florida guys, on those fan boats patrolling. Don't worry, you'll have y'all's little fucking scout meeting. I'm gonna go out here and find some gators. But yeah,
that's real cute, boy.
I mean, it would be cool to see them, but there was a lot of kids there. Like when they started dispersing, and you got to see other kids there, and they let helmets on. It was kind of neat to see more Mandos. I guess they're replenishing the ranks since that huge massacre that they had.
Yeah,
the Purge. Because you remember in season 1, I think, when they were in that city or what. I can never remember the name of the city.
Navarro.
Navarro, thank you. You would think but you remember all the helmets that were in the caves and only the armor was left, but she was still there, just toiling away. I'm in charge. Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
I'm starting to really dislike this armor.
Well, okay. So the reason there's a theory going around that it is his kid, and that he's going to be the antagonist to Grogu, because Grogu will essentially inherit the Darksaber, and he will be going against the actual founder of the Darksaber, his clan, the original Ta Vizsla or whatever his name was the first Jedi, and so it's going to be like a battle between the two of them.
It's a lot of pre-planning, though.
Yeah, I figure.
Unless they do a time jump episode. I mean, or just a time jump in the series, which I don't mind.
Well, I want a time jump to be able to see, like, I actually just want a Grogu show that has him now currently, but we'll have flashbacks to Mando, but then it shows him being older in his prime and all that. Like, I want to see like the old gray hair Grogu. That's what I want.
So you want the How I Met Your Mando?
I guess, essentially.
I will say time jumps. The show that used time jumps the absolute best was what was that Titan show? Young Justice. Like they would just take it would just be years in between seasons. Like literally years. I mean, like they would just jump. Like, oh, Robin's a kid in this. Next season, he's Nightwing. And
yeah, they were very, very ballsy about it too. They would just be like, season finality, deal with it, you know.
yeah.
They're 20 now.
And they just treated each season like its own story. And then if you wanted to just watch it, you just watched it. You didn't. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
more shows should do that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against time jumps, but going back to that kid at the thing, he might be, but man, I don't know if like the show didn't do a really good, in my opinion, showing that he was like really, really important. They just kind of was like, it was more of a, hey, this is how we indoctrinate people. We find them young. You know,
I was waiting to see if it was going to be actual Mando, just as a kid, and then it was like, oh wait, no, there's his ship. So it's modern day.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that at first too. I was like, "Oh, this is a flashback to him, getting his helmet for the first time." And then, but the whole time I'm like, "Man, the armor in Paws of Islam must be old," And they were, and I was like, and then, but that Star Wars, sometimes people can be like hundreds of years old but still badass.
Yeah.
And then there was so many Mandos, and I was like, this had to be before all of them got murdered. Oh, that's cool. But then Mando shows up and kills that thing, and I was like, oh, this is they're building
now. This is happening. Okay.
Which also made it really cool, because I like seeing other Mandalorians. You know me, man. I think the Mandalorians, the fact that we're going down this road is so fun, and they should really capitalize on it. I mean, I know Hasbro is, they're gonna be like,
lots of repaints in the future.
Here's a 4-pack. It'll be $200. You'll buy it.
I'm changing my shoulder pad to a light green.
I'm telling you, the action figure world is super happy about Mando because between each season, I changed my knee pad. Oh, thank God.
Well, I heard that's actually they make them do things like that. Like Chewie, when Han Solo came in, like, how do you make another Chewie figure when he's supposed to be younger and everything? Oh, you give him 2 bandoliers instead of 1.
Yeah.
Different figure.
Yeah. Oh, that's a different one.
See, yeah. Oh, he has a temporary replacement part for this. He's got a red leg.
Yeah. Oh, you'll buy it. You'll buy anything.
You'll need it, because if you don't buy it, it's going to eat away at your soul.
he'll buy it. Yeah, man. It's but like I said, I'm happy about seeing all the Mandos. I just wish it was a season finale. All I could do was say that I watched it. And I was like, when it ended, I was extremely mad because now I got to wait a week for another episode on a streaming service.
Yeah. It's so painful to be watching, like binging a series and then have to go to watching one episode a week.
Yeah,
it's so painful.
I think it might have been my wife who brought it up, and it was a good point of why they do that. And it might have been you, Jimmy, because it's episodic. The Last of Us, and because you're watching it on HBO now, the app, people that pay for HBO still have to get it episodically, so they couldn't give us the entire season without screwing over the people that pay for their cable.
It wasn't me, but that's a good point. Yeah.
So there I'm like, okay, fine. But Disney Plus, that doesn't absolve you because you're only an app, and everybody gets you the same way, and yeah.
Stretch out in between. They want. It's clear Disney Plus wants a new show going on at all times.
Yeah,
so they have to okay, we have to do this so to get us ready for the next Marvel thing, and then we'll go back to Star Wars and Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah, because they have to keep the monthly because people that sign up for 30 days and then drop off, they're like, no, we got to retain.
Yeah.
I was like, man, they have to understand that most people have kids that have Disney. Pretty much everybody that have kids have Disney for the most part.
Yeah.
And, because we need it to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bluey.
And, Bluey. Thank God for Bluey. And
although I will say one thing about Bluey, every time I watch it, I feel like a shitty dad.
Yes.
It's just like he's like so perfect, and
he's such a better dad than I'll ever like. And then the neighbors that are in on all the playing, like every time they run into a neighbor, they're like, oh, they jump in on the play and they pretend, and everybody's so cool with the kids, and I'm like, wow, I'm a piece of shit.
I know, right? I don't know. I just feel like
the Master of the Thunderbirds, the only place you'll get your exclusive Bluey commentary.
Yeah, well, I bet you we're the only podcast talking about Bluey. All right.
Let's just turn this podcast into an episode by episode commentary for Bluey. How many episodes of that should we get out? I'll watch it. I don't.
Well, Dusty Thunder, the dude that does, the Ask Me Anything or Am I an Asshole Reddits, he reads those a lot. Mm-hmm. He always has a Bluey shirt on and is talking about Bluey too. So we're not the only ones. Just the only ones that are honest.
It's the best kid show on air right now. I'm telling you. But
I find it so much better than Sophia the First and.
Dude, it's so good. One of these days, just crack open Disney Plus and watch an episode or two of Bluey. Watch how perfectly crafted the show is to not only help kids learn things, but then it reverse teaches parents how to be better parents. You're watching it, and you're like, wow, there's some stuff in here.
Yeah. Okay, I need to be a better parent. I suck. So point taken.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you fucking animated dog.
So, speaking of shows, going back to shows that we always have to talk about, there's rumors that they're going to make a CGI Luke spinoff.
Stop
I think that would be cool.
Stop it.
It's just that's the beginning of AI because you remember that his last appearance was essentially all AI on a matted actor.
Yeah,
I don't want that I don't want the star of my show to be a completely AI person that they just type in his lines.
Well,
and Mark Hamill gets a paycheck. Like, it's weird, man.
It would be nice for Mark Hamill because he also, well, maybe not. Maybe he just wants to be fat.
Like, I don't want to. I can play Luke, but I don't have to actually do anything. And you give me a paycheck.
Yeah,
fantastic.
But I mean, because he actually like tried to get in shape, or he at least slimmed down. Maybe he was still slim from the the sequel trilogy. Who knows? But still, I don't know.
I
But
mean,
regardless, I think that would be cool. It would let you see a little bit more of Luke and his training, and hopefully he gets it through his head that attachments aren't bad, and he realizes, oh shit, I'm being dumb.
It's too late. We've already seen how much of a piece of shit he becomes. So no matter what you show me, we're still gonna have an end canon worst
However,
Luke ever, unless they
however,
retcon.
if they do what I hope they do in the Ahsoka show, because she can do like that kind of weird time jump thing. It would be awesome if we saw, Anakin again, and hopefully we'll see Anakin in this series. But in Mando,
I think that's a slippery slope. Slippery
That's
slope.
the thing too. I just.
I know you aren't on
like
board with it, but I am.
Their stories are told, and let's just.
Yeah. No, regardless of how people feel about the prequels, I have nothing negative to say about the prequels. I mean, they were, and as time passes, we're proving just how much better they were than we realized. We were really harsh on them.
Yeah.
We treated them very harshly. And the sequels prove that how terrible like writing and the thing about that is what I'm getting to is that the sequel trilogy happened. They want you to know it. They're not backing down. That happened. Pandora's out of the box. We can't go back in the box. All we can
can
do
if they do something weird with Ahsoka.
Will you accept that? I mean, because that seems like pretty lazy.
Well, it's kind of like the Flash movie is supposed to reset all of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
They're using that as a jumping point. They could do that with the Ahsoka show.
They could do that, but then we get into crazy territory. Like the one chance that we had to have all three of the legacy characters on screen, Luke, Leia, and Han, it was botched.
Yeah,
and we can't, and we're never going to have that again because Leia's gone.
right.
Carrie Fisher, she passed away unless they want to bring her back
CGI
with AI.
man.
Yeah, which I think is, I'm sorry, but I'm not on board with it.
Yeah,
and
I don't really think.
And then Harrison Ford will do anything. He's proved he'll do anything for money. And he'd probably come back and say a few things.
Maybe.
And then let CGI do the rest of his job for him, like he's going to do in the new Indiana Jones movie. I think, I don't know. I just think it's a bad idea. Like you had your chance, and it's unfortunate that what we got was what we got. But that was your chance. That's the way it is, and we have to live with it.
Well,
and I think
the show's divisive. I mean, that new trilogy's divisive at best.
At best, yeah.
So it's.
And I'm not going to tell anybody like if you like those movies, you're a Star Wars fan. I'm not going to say that.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't.
It's very half and half. There's some people that absolutely love the new trilogy, and I'm glad you enjoy it. I like legitimately, I do. I'm glad you got something you enjoy.
Yeah, but it's like I told Jimmy when those movies came out. I said, dude, like, man, those movies ruined the old movies for me. Like those movies, like you retroactively ruined Luke.
What's that, Scooby?
Roly Rit.
Holy shit, you ruined up Rook.
Roly, you really rocked it up. Yeah.
Well, I say if you're gonna good by the way. Like wow. If we're gonna do, I just think they should either do like side stories. If they're gonna just rip off all these novels that they say is legacy, just do that.
Exactly.
And that stuff. I don't want like a new trilogy or anything. I would still love Shadows of the Empire for them to adapt that. That would be great. But it's either do that or just do something crazy that nobody will care about. Like just redo Star Wars but like with the Ralph McQuarrie drawings. Like, just do like a really crazy, kitschy sci-fi retro story, and just have it be like a one-off or something.
Mm.
And then that's not going to make anybody mad.
I
It's
just
not canon. Start making non-legacy stuff, I
or,
guess,
yeah, and start
or legacy stuff. Sorry,
just take a
Yeah.
big chance and let Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay do The Force Unleashed.
something crazy. Yeah, just get that guy while he's in his prime, because he's going to waste.
Yeah, that actor is God. He is such a Star Wars like nut,
Yeah,
you know. And
he was awesome when he did the voice of Darth Maul.
yeah, and the fact that we haven't got a star killer. Like, I mean, I know it's whatever, but dude, I love those video games. They're great. Like,
Yeah,
I think a little bit of writing, a little bit of tweaking, you could take that character and bring him into the canon Star Wars, no problem.
Yeah, you
And it
just
would
have
be,
to mix them with Andor or
yep,
something,
mix him
because
with
Yeah.
something.
Andor kind of undid a little bit of that
Yeah,
story, but
introduce him with yeah, that would be, hey, there you go, right there. Introduce him with Andor, and then let him do his own spin-off. And there you go. You got another show to keep people subscribed to your app.
Well, that they had the Star Killer armor in the backdrop of one of the episodes.
I didn't
did
know
they?
that.
Yeah,
Of the Mandalorian?
no, of Andor.
Oh,
Like the
I
helmet and
haven't
stuff that
finished
he
Andor.
had, that was on display in that dude's shop.
That's a burn.
Oh, okay.
Kind of burns a little bit.
Well, Cal's still sitting there too. I think you could do a show around him
Yeah,
at
or that
just about
Jedi.
any point.
And then there's that crazy Jedi that you run into in that game, who is voiced by the guy who did Spartacus in that show. Australian, I can't remember his name. Liam something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Dude, there you go. There's a crazy Jedi right there. Bam. I don't know, because people, like they go nuts for, because I want to see more Jedi stuff, man. If it was like, are we ever gonna get a cool lightsaber fight like Revenge of the Sith ever again, or is it just gone? Like, because man, nobody knows how to fight with those things anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the oh man, I'm so frustrated trying to get out words.
Hold on. For anybody that can't see this, I wish you could have seen his cam, because I thought he was having an aneurysm. He just flashed and he went blank, and I was like, Dustin, are you okay? I'm sitting there thinking, and then he's just like, I'm so frustrated.
Just because it's weird because I had the strokes and whatnot. And the seizures and the brain bleed and all that stuff that I have not really talked about. It's sometimes hard for me to get words out that I want to get out.
It's also getting old too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, late
But
on.
anyway, I've totally forgot what I was going to say.
He was going to
Oh,
tell
no.
us.
Oh, yeah.
You were going to give secrets of the universe and everything.
Yeah, the Revenge of the Sith was so epic. They Nick Gillard just showed like the full scope of the fight scene and like got into it a little bit. And that fight was going to be so much more epic. It would have been amazing. And the I heard this other thing. I saw this thing that they cut dialogue out. It was like from Revenge of the Sith. So it was supposed to be Darth Vader, and this lackey comes in, and basically he asks if Padme was still pregnant, and the dude confirms yes. And so then he feels lost for even his kids and Padme, and I can only imagine how much more that would have fueled his anger and hatred.
They would have extended that
Yeah.
scene. No.
Well, no, not extended the scene, but this was supposed to be later on, or
Yeah.
maybe even in it could be like a Kenobi thing or something.
It is
But
kind of weird. He never asked about the child
yeah,
because I mean he knew she was pregnant and he never.
yeah.
Is Padme okay? Yeah.
Soon because she died.
Well,
Soon,
it's because he said Sidious said, and it seems in your anger you killed her, and
Mhm.
killing her would mean that the babies would die,
Hmm.
unless they managed to get saved, which they did. But
I mean, surely. I mean, you have space travel. I'm pretty sure you've cornered the market on childbirth.
Not only do they have space travel, they have suits that will heal, that will keep you alive if you've been burned to death. So
I mean, you're a
the baby's
quadriplegic
probably
burn victim,
the
but
baby's
no,
probably okay.
yeah, that baby's, yeah, the child, like, boy, that,
So
ew, yeah, I don't know,
we're poking holes now.
yeah, fucking Kathleen Kennedy's gonna send hit teams.
What's that red dot on you? Take
oh, jeez.
the shot.
Take the shot.
Okay,
You
so
are,
another thing we were talking about, switching topics.
Mhm. Yeah, because I have to close with what I watched last night. So yeah.
Um, there was that meme that you posted. What would you choose if you could choose between Kicked, the General Lee, or the A-Team van? Did that actually have a name? I forget.
But yeah,
Yeah, just the van.
Yeah,
I don't
just the
think they
van.
ever named it. But
yeah. So are we talking the just the vehicles, or are we talking like the fictionalized?
Exactly. That was what I was gonna stipulate. Like, okay, you post that meme,
There's a
and
whole
it's like,
kit.
okay, well, first of all, if it's Knight Rider, I'm
like,
gonna
yeah.
take Kit.
Am I getting a super Firebird or am I getting Kit? Because Kit was a
Yeah,
Firebird, right?
yeah,
I think it was a Pontiac Firebird.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah. I
just
think
Trans
so.
Am, right? Trans
Yeah.
Am.
Well, Trans Am was Firebird was a version of Firebird.
Okay.
Or Firebird was a version of the Trans. Holy shit! I'm gonna have to Google. But yeah. No, keep going.
No, so anyway, it's Kit. So
Yeah.
it depends on if it's. I've seen an extended version of that where they also mention the DeLorean and another car of some sort. But it's like, okay, am I getting the DeLorean, that the fictionalized DeLorean that can fly and go off into time travel and stuff, or am I getting Knight Rider that's actual Kit and Knight Rider and can talk and drive for me when I don't want to fucking drive? Stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to for me. It's like, okay, because otherwise,
Yeah.
strip down, I'm choosing the van because those vans were so freaking cool.
Dude. Yeah. If we're just getting regular
Extended
cars,
seating and
van
stuff
all
like
day.
that.
Yeah. Van all day. But to answer the question, yes, it was a base model Pontiac Firebird dressed up as a Trans Am.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
At least it wasn't that. What was the other one? Was it like a Dodge Dart? What was it?
Uh,
Knight Rider 2000.
no, Dodge. When they came back as a Mustang.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait a
Yeah.
minute. No. I'm thinking of the Knight Rider, like
Are you talking about the one
2000,
before that?
the red
Yeah,
one.
that was the red one. That was a God.
That was like, it was a failed pilot that they just released it as a movie.
And that was also a um it was also a prototype car. It was a Pontiac that was coming out with it had the dome glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a prototype car that never got released to the public. And then when the show failed, I guess Pontiac decided we're not going to release it either. Which,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's
I
see.
still like that car, oddly enough. I know it's not Kit, but I mean it is Kit, but it's not like original Kit.
Yeah, I'm looking to see.
Plus, if you had the kit car, like which version are you going to get? Like, are you going to get the one with the turbo panels and the one that could go up to like 500 miles an hour? Those boosters.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you get all the gadgets, in-law gadgets, yeah, kit all day. But if we're
Right.
but if we're doing just the base, do you want this really nice Pontiac or this awesome van or the General Lee? Don't get me wrong, the General Lee is an amazing vehicle, but at the same time, being a family guy, I could not.
So before kids, the General Lee. After kids, the 18 van.
Yes, yes. Because now my mind is all about space. And like you open up the back of the van, I was like, look at all this space I got for shit.
Yeah.
Like, I can put groceries back here. I can go pick up some lumber if I need to. I can do
Give
that.
Mr. T a ride to the
Yeah,
airport.
I could hide a bunch of Christmas presents in here. Like the night before. This is the
Yeah.
perfect vehicle. You know. But yeah, you're not fitting anybody in the General Lee. It's just you and
Right.
some other dead.
Maybe you could fit a ton of dead bodies in the trunk, though.
Oh yeah, those trunks were pretty big.
Those
But,
trunks were enormous.
yeah, but
So if you knew that
that
you
was
were going to have to kill people, then
that was pre-safety latch too. So they
right,
didn't start installing the safety latches till like the mid '80s.
Let's go
About
ahead and go ask all those people that like they get their dream DeLorean, and every single one of them will tell you DeLoreans are shit cars.
they're not good. They're
They
not good.
break down all the time. They look
Even
cool.
yeah, even I want one to rest. If I could ever get one, I'd immediately resto mod it. And resto modding, if you guys don't know what that is where people are taking older cars but putting in new mechanics in them, new model drivetrain, suspension, and all that stuff, but keeping the body of the car.
Okay.
yeah,
So, you know, so that
Frankenstein car.
yeah, that would be the only way I would want one if I could get. Because even if I got like an old 70 something, I think I'd probably resto mod it. I know that's blasphemy,
Yeah,
but
if did you guys watch what is it, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with
no, I don't
Jerry
think I have.
Seinfeld? He always
nephew.
picks a car to go with his guest, and he one time I think it was Patton Oswalt, but I can't be sure. He's like, "Oh, I'll get a DeLorean, and we'll come out there and I'll pick them up. We'll drive and go get coffee." Thing broke down on the side of the road before they even started like leaving, and he was like, "Yeah, I should have known."
Yeah, it looks cool, but it doesn't run, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they're bringing the DeLorean back, but it's made to order basically,
Yeah,
and it's like 400,000 something.
more expensive than for my blood.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
producers' wheels are turning like we can't wait till what's
yeah,
his name dies and we can get the rights back.
yeah.
We're making that Back to the Future reboot.
I know I'd have to sell in order to get that car. I'd probably have to sell my entire Marvel Legends box.
Only that?
Yeah, maybe.
Galactus.
I think that you have to do a lot more.
Because according to Hasbro, they're worth.
What's a Galactus worth with inflation now? 1,000.
It's. I'm really upset with how much they're selling for on eBay because it's not good.
Really? Oh, it's not. It's not a great figure.
I haven't
Oh,
even
it's a
opened it.
great figure, but
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
even.
you haven't opened it yet. Okay.
No, because I'm still on the fence of like, do I really want this? Because this, like, once I open that thing, and I put it on display, that's a commitment. That's
Yeah.
that's wall space. It's gone. I'm never getting it back. You know,
right.
and it's like, do you really want this? Or do you want to sell it and buy other things that
Like
you're,
3 Marvel Legends.
yeah, yeah, or or at least 10 premium Bandai items.
I know. Full discretion for anybody that doesn't? We have a group chat. Of course, we have a group chat. The amount of talk about DBZ figures and how much they are spending on them, and every single one that comes out is like, "Fuck, I gotta buy that," and it's like there's another 70. There's another 60. There's another 80. And I'm like, how are you guys doing this? Are you selling blood?
Well, from what I understand,
And then of course that Thiccolo came out, and how much is Thiccolo going for?
80.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Oh. Huh. Listen, no regrets. All right.
I'm not doing this to
Right,
make you feel bad.
anything.
I'm so curious, dude. I got like I'm looking at a table full of Master, Mo2 figures and stuff that I need to organize. Like I get it, but like it's just man, the amount of DBZ talk. Oh, we should talk. You should give us like a quick review of the new DBZ movie because you watched it.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah.
Quick review. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes.
second it.
Wonderful. Yes, wonderful. The new. I was a little wary of the animation style when I saw the trailers because I was worried because it's that kind of CGI kind of
Yeah.
animation, and then the Broly movie was like that old '80s style animation, and it was so good.
Mhm.
The animation was so good in Broly movie, and then even in Super, towards the end, oh my God, the tournament power was so good.
Yeah.
So I was
So
so I was a little worried at first, but then the way they use it to do these like crazy whip around shots for the combat in
mhm.
that movie are things I've never seen before. So it's it's really good. It's really like you remember there for the longest time I was like that one fight with in that other show My Hero Academia. They had that movie.
Mhm.
It was Heroes Rising.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Have you
crazy ass fight that lasts like it's like 8 minutes of the movie with like no talking or
no
anything.
talk? Yeah, yeah. It's there's no talking, no dialogue. It's just this like cool ass music and Deku and Bakugo fighting the main villain, and I I need to go back and watch it to make sure, but I still think it might be the best animated fight I've ever seen, just because the way it was filmed and the music and it elicits emotion. It's so good, but man, some of these fights in Super are pretty good, and they're like not even real big deal fights, but God, they're shot so well. That they're
Oh,
animated so
dude, I
well.
don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the movie. Never mind.
Hmm?
Oh, I said you're talking about the movie. Never mind. I thought you were talking about something else, and I'm like, oh man. Right offhand, I was thinking the Battle of Jiren was insane.
Oh,
So many of
oh
those
God,
fights were
oh yeah,
like gut wrenching.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, it's in Super. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
the final scenes were insane. They're really good.
I think give
Yeah,
me a crash course because also for people who don't know, anytime there's a major fight in DBZ, Zach will give me a crash course about what I need to know just so I can watch the movie.
yeah,
Because I've seen a lot of Dragon Ball Z fights and movies, and like I've seen the tournament. He was there with me with the tournament. He was like, "Okay, well, this is going on." I'm like, "Okay, great," and then I can enjoy it. And I've seen the
yeah.
Broly movie, both Broly movies, and there's something else I've seen. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, so if it's that good, just tell me what I need to know to watch the movie, so
You
I
don't
can
really,
just enjoy
yeah.
the fight.
That's the great thing. The movie
Hmm.
does a recap at the beginning, telling you everything you need to know.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I
because
mean that's standard anime stuff. I'm kind of an idiot for asking, but just in
Well,
case.
they talk about all the Red Ribbon Army and how
the
that
whole yeah,
originated. They do a little breakdown before, and
yeah,
then they get into it.
and they do some pretty deep cuts. Like they bring back some old like history and stuff from Z and everything, and showing like their motivation of why they've kept going in secret.
Yeah.
And and yeah, it's really self-contained. I mean, it's nice to know more because if you didn't see the Broly movie, then you're going to be confused of who this big Tarzan mofo is on Beerus's planet is,
Hmm.
you know. And but yeah, it's good. Like it's good to go in there and just it's available now. It's wonderful.
It is. It really is.
And
I'm so hyped and waiting for more Super. I want more Super so bad.
I think
But
they're just
in the
I think they're just
meantime, I
saying,
started watching My Hero Academia,
yeah,
so that's been a welcome distraction from
it's
what I
good,
want.
right? Like
Yeah.
it really it as far as animes right now, it was like, man, this is top notch. Like it's
Yeah.
really good. And Yeah,
Stuff coming, man.
I want a prequel show to see young All Might so bad.
That would be cool. I just got
Because
an TV episode that is showing his teacher, and they're talking about his predecessor and stuff.
yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, so they haven't told you? He hasn't told you that?" And he's completely clueless. So I'm completely clueless. But yeah, it would be cool to see a young All Might.
the
What they look like in his heyday.
because I don't know if you've went and watched the first movie. It's the My Hero Academia Two Heroes. I think it's
Haven't
in
seen it
between
yet.
season. I think it's in between. It takes place between season 1, season 2, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
And there's a flashback in that movie of All Might in his prime, like young All Might, like, and God, it's so good watching him move and how awesome he was. You're like, oh man, like I want to see that so bad.
They
Right.
should just do a movie of it because I mean those movies are nice that
They don't take place,
yeah,
yeah.
they don't necessarily take place in the continuity of the show. It's like they happen but they never get referenced.
Yeah.
So that would be great for them to just stick one in there like that. Just do an All Might movie when he's young.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
But yeah, I'm glad you're liking it, man. That's a good. I'm still I'm in the midst of season 5
Oh
myself.
yeah. Oh yeah. The sports festival. I think that's what you're getting ready to get into soon, and that gets pretty cool.
There's some good
For
stuff.
who? Me or Bo?
You.
Oh no,
Yeah, the
I've
sports
been.
festival, man. You're gonna the sports festival.
Yeah.
There's so many good
Yeah.
stuff there.
Yeah. Plus,
I really liked how they it was mixed up, like you had to work together and stuff like that, and
yeah. Oh,
they
you've
had
already seen most of it.
challenges. Yes, I have seen it.
Yeah. That.
Probably my favorite hook of the show is how these people have these powers, but they're not. It's how creative they get with them in situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I love.
And that's what I love about. I've probably said this before, but I've never seen a show progression as well as they do. Like they show people progress to get better with powers and start tacking on new skills and showcasing them.
Yeah.
It's like seeing Batman. When we were kids watching the animated series, Batman was always cool. We never got to
Yeah.
see him get cool.
Yeah.
you know. But we're seeing all these heroes get cool, and they just keep getting better and better and better to the point to where they're like the pro heroes are like, oh man, I kind of not as good as these kids. you know, like especially season 5 and 6, like the stuff that's going on in season 6 right now is I still haven't been able to get through it, but it's so insane. Like I don't know how they're going to survive. It's
I
bad. It's bad. It's real bad.
I get notified from my TV Showtime app that a new episode of that was dropping last night. So
Yeah.
I haven't got up that season, obviously, but
Yeah, just take your time and
You're
enjoy
cruising
it. 'Cause
along. If you're already at the sports festival,
yeah.
after like a week, you'll catch up mentally. You'll probably lap me.
How do you feel about Bakugo?
I think he's very conflicted. Like, well, not conflicted. I don't know. He's very cool
Yeah.
that he designed his gloves to
Mhm.
disperse the thing that he can't actually normally do on a regular basis at that point. But I thought that was cool.
Favorite character so far. I think it's one of those personality test things
Yeah.
because there's so many characters that you tend to latch on to somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I really like Bakugo.
Hey, okay.
I'm not sure what that says.
I'm a Todoroki man myself.
Oh yeah, Todoroki's bad. Like I love Endeavor. Endeavor's so cool, and he's slowly going through his redemption arc. And my
A little
God,
bit, yeah. I'm
it,
enjoying that.
like rooting for him now is a real. Like I really like him a lot. He's
You think they're done, Dustin? They're not even. You've probably seen like half of the characters that end up on that show, and there's
yeah.
already like 20 or 30. They just keep bringing in new people, And you're like, I'm never going to remember who these people are, and yet somehow you do. I guess it's because everybody's got such eclectic superpowers.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember who they are.
There's like characters that have so far that really stand out to me that have never stopped being cool since the moment they popped on screen. Like Aizawa, Eraserhead. Like he is always cool.
Yeah. I like him a lot.
You know,
and I got confused. I wasn't talking about Bakugo. I like the Midoriya.
Midoriya. Oh, yeah. Well, he just keeps getting cooler.
How cool is that? Do you realize that our favorites are each the 3 leads? Friendship.
Shut up, you idiot.
Yeah, that's where you go.
Yeah.
And Justin's like, okay, you guys don't fight. And I'm like, I don't know what I did.
I know my favorite part was during like when they were camping and Shoto Todoroki is like, because Midori was worried that he was being offensive, you know, and he's like, "Well, you were kind of like asking a lot of questions, and that is annoying." You know,
Yeah, I can't tell you if you can, and this for anybody that hasn't watched it. I know they're hard to find, but those OVAs that like you don't need them. There's like super short. You don't really need them. The one where it's like a Halloween special. It's like a horror episode. It is so fucking funny. It has one of the funniest endings out of anything I've seen. It's great. It's super funny. It's worth struggling to try to find it online.
Well, I gave that list that you gave me to my other buddy who likes My Hero Academia, and he was just like, "Oh, I didn't even know about these. I'm gonna have to go find them." So I'm hoping to see them once he finds them.
Oh, good. Yeah, because there's one of them is really neat. Like you don't need it, but you remember how the first season they were trying to do that training exercise, and that thing showed up. I can't remember what they're called.
Nomu.
Yeah, thank you. And then they never really got to finish that exercise. One of those OVAs is them going back and doing the actual exercise.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's really neat.
Going back to that Nomu All Might fight, God almighty.
How could okay, can I also say, for being South Carolinians, we never get anything cool. Like nobody cares about South Carolina. He's got a movie called The Carolina Smash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, finally something.
But it's so funny because you see that move, and that's the one that the Japanese chose. That particular strike is the one that the Japanese chose to represent the Carolinas, and it's an X.
I wonder if it's because it's supposed to be north and south, but either way, still, it's the whole. It's something. He's that we'll get into we're going to get canceled covering rebel stuff and talking about General Lee.
Yeah, because I'm watching that and he goes Carolina Smash. I'm like, wait a minute. wait just a goddamn minute, Rondell. And then so anyway. It's not that nothing beats the which I can't remember. No, you haven't gotten there yet. I ain't gonna say anything.
Yeah, haven't gotten there.
There's a smash coming.
Oh, okay. I still get confused on the characters. I need a breakdown on the characters because it's just like I keep getting confused.
Well, that's the thing about the show. Like, they keep doing like these little flashcards where like they'll show a character and their powers, so they're slowly like ingraining in your brain and teaching you who these people are. So by the time you get to like season 4, you're like, oh, that's Aizawa, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
doing it during the show, like during the action, it's just like a little thing. It's like there's their quirk.
Yeah.
Like I know what that is. Just get that off the screen. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah, but
half fire, half ice. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I had to pause because I didn't realize that was coming up, and I had to pause, and I was like, okay, now I need to read it because I'm not as good reading anymore. But
when that show ends, whenever that may be,
it's coming close.
Really cool. It would be really cool if they did an art book that had character bios with the art, like a little,
Oh yeah, that would be so cool.
little encyclopedia for the show. I'd be like, yeah, that'd be
I would
great.
definitely get that to study it.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, just have like a really badass picture of them, and then their power sets, a little bio, and just do that for every character on the show. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I
Like
know.
basically publish his book that he is writing in all the time.
Oh yeah, his little journal. You can actually buy those journals. They have blank journals that look like that. And
Are
I've
they
seen
all?
people like burn them.
Yeah, I was about to say, do they have water damage and burn?
Yeah, some people like they'll buy them and then they'll be like, okay, let's they just soak it in water, let it dry out, and get it like really warped and everything, and then they start using it. I'm like, that's cool.
But I just that moment during the sports festival was probably one of my favorite moments from Bakugo, because when they were playing what were they for the game where they were like riding each other and they had the
Yeah,
banners that they had to steal,
yeah.
and that one, and they were trying to go after a Midoriya and all their points, and then and then that one team snatched Bakugo's tag off, and then he started talking all kinds of trash. He's like, and then you see Bakugo just stop. We have a new mission. We have to kill them.
He very much even though not full fully pledged to DBC. I don't know a lot about it, but he is very much the Vegeta of the show.
Yeah, I've pretty much said, like, he is clearly the Vegeta while Midoriya is the Goku. And
he's angry, but he's got a heart of gold in him.
yeah.
But he's never going to show anybody that.
You actually start seeing it.
Well, I noticed. Well, yeah, I noticed he lets it out a little bit.
He is really, in these later seasons, my God, he is, the stuff that's coming out of his mouth, and you start hearing how smart he is, and the things. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's something I so desperately want to talk to you about, but I'll have to wait. But it was in season 5. He had a like a super badass moment, and I was like, oh, this is great. I can't even like go into like any details about it because it'll give it away.
Yeah,
but he's great. Also, the Hero Russians movie, him and Midoriya having that fight. That fight is amazing.
Yeah, and he reveals his superhero name finally, his official name.
I have not. I'm just there.
Yep.
I haven't gotten to it yet. So
who does?
Bakugo.
Oh, okay.
Because you remember
he's just like killer robot dude or whatever.
He was like Lord Murder Kill.
Yeah, Lord Murder Kill. Like that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
shut up.
You can't use any of these. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But he finally announces it. I won't say it, so I'll wait.
Everybody should get on that. There's a couple options. I know it's on Crunchy. Is it on Crunchyroll? It's on Crunchyroll, right?
Crunchy. It's on Hulu too.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm watching on Hulu too.
Mm-hmm.
Having to wait for the dubs because I'm used to the dubs now. I can't go back.
Yeah, like
Trigun and Cowboy Bebop. It's like I could watch them. Although the OVAs you'll have to watch, with subtitles, but because they didn't bring them over here.
I know, like, what is it? People they don't like the dub. Like, there's like this weird culture of like, well, you need to watch the sub. I always go back to that meme that just it pops in my head every time I see somebody talking trash about the dubs. 'Cause I'm a dub guy. I don't want to do subs. That's ridiculous. Like, I mean, I'll watch sub if I have to. Like when the Tournament of Power was happening in real time and they were airing the episodes in Japan and then also airing them on Crunchyroll at the same time, and I had to watch the sub, I was like, fine, I'll do it because I love it this much. But then,
Correct.
Yeah, but what ruined it? The sub did ruin the dub for me when it comes to the Tournament of Power because the sub is better. I know that sounds like awful.
To me, it sounds perfectly plausible because I prefer subs.
Yeah,
I prefer dubs. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's like the meme where the guy hold up a sign. They're at some protest, like a real protest for like probably a real issue where I have no idea. But some idiot's got a sign up. It says English dubs are good. You're all just weebs. and then under it in parentheses it says Galatians 4:16.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and then do you know what Galatians 4:16 is
What
off
is
the
it?
top of your head? In the
Not off
Bible,
the top of my
in the Bible, it's now you hate me because I have told you the truth.
head.
I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I get addicted. When it comes to like live action, if it's foreign, I very much prefer subtitles with the original
yeah,
because you're losing performance, and they don't always pick the best voice actor to go.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's bad.
yeah.
Like Money Heist or what was the Korean show that was that's gonna bother me. Everybody knows it was super popular. The show where they have to play all the wickedly simple kids games, but they're death. Squid Games?
Squid Games.
Yes,
Oh,
that.
Squid Games. Yeah, I never
The
watched it. I never watched
I
that. Yeah,
didn't watch
the
it either.
yeah,
the dubbed voices are so goofy.
yeah. It's like there's some dubs out there that are like just perfect. Like I'll always go back to like Trigun. Trigun was one of the most perfect. Like Johnny on Bosch, he's been in the business for dude, I don't know how long he's been dubbing, but man,
Yeah,
every time when he shows up, he understands his assignment.
yeah. And that was like
Cause
that was his first gig too. Like, how
yeah,
do you just yeah, I
yeah,
guess I'll try it.
whatever, just fucking
Home run.
not, yeah, uh,
Cowboy
because
Bebop. I can't imagine Cowboy Bebop without Steve Bloom. Like I
no,
can't do it.
no, and see now Johnny on Bosch is now Broly, and I was really skeptical because I was like, man, how's this gonna sound? And then after watching the movie last night, I was like, okay, I'm fine. Everything's
Yeah.
Is that the first one where he's taking over for
yep
what's his name?
for Vic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He the time will tell when we get to hear a good Dragon Ball Z, and when I say this, people will understand a yell, a scream, because
Hmm.
they go on for a while. That's the ultimate test of a of a voice actor on
Yeah.
that show, in my opinion. If you can manage this the yell right, uh, yeah, and Vic had his in spades. Like that thing was, he's probably the best yeller in the business. And I know, I know this is probably a hot take. Here, her first, ladies and gentlemen, hot take. Chris Sabat, worst yeller in the business. Like his Dragon Ball Z yells are terrible,
Really?
in my opinion.
I like
Like,
them. I think they're fine. I think it's weird.
like Vegeta and Piccolo both. You know, he had to do both characters, and they just like good job, dude, good job. You really showed up to work today.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Well, every time you tell me to go watch this the Ocean dub or the original
Yeah,
animation, it's just like, yeah, I can't get behind this voice. It's not Piccolo
it,
in my
I guess
opinion.
I guess because it's not like you brought up a good point. Like it wasn't your first exposure to them,
Right,
and you weren't watching the shows in real time.
right.
Because as the shows were going on, you know, the Ocean dub had the um Brian Drumlin, I think is his name, was doing Vegeta, and then God, I can't remember the guy who done Piccolo. But back then, their 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 power up screams were good, and they sounded different. I like the fact that they were two different voice actors. Like I just can't get on board with the same actor doing two different characters, and then sometimes if you hear them scream off screen, you can't tell who it is
Yeah.
because it's essentially the same voice actor. And this is not a hit on Christopher Sabat because I love him as All Might. He's great as All Might, but All Might is not Vegeta and Piccolo. With that, I don't know.
He's my
So
Piccolo.
I'll die on that hill. bring them guys back, but they'll never do it because Funimation is Funimation. Yeah, because even the voice actor for Vegeta in Japanese, oh my god, that dude kills it. You could just turn the sub off and listen to him, and that's like, oh, that sounds good. he sounds he sounds like an imposing character is really good. I don't know. Oh, we lose Bo. I noticed he's been
Here.
smiling. He's been smiling in camera for. Oh, his camera froze.
Oh, yeah, no, it looks like I should put like a producer credit over my thing.
I know. Everywhere you look, everywhere.
I'm so tempted that you know what? I might try it. Where's my screenshot? Print screen.
I was
There we
about to say,
go.
are you on your laptop?
Yeah, because I can.
I can't believe how old. I can't believe how old I am, and I just learned recently how to use the snipping tool.
What is for what?
The snipping tool on
Yes,
Windows?
sir?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. It's been a month, give or take. I was like, "What is the snipping tool?" Oh, I can snip my own like screenshots and stuff. And because this whole time I just been doing like print screen and then saving them and editing and cropping them and stuff. And
Yeah.
what a fool! What a
See,
fool!
that's what I've been doing myself. Well, I've never really used it. There we
Catch
go.
catch me offline. How about that? And I'll
Since my screen is still
yeah.
that do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is. God, that was easier. Thank you for.
It's wonderful.
I do everything off my phone or my
See,
tablet. I rarely use this laptop.
you come here for nerd culture and commentary and also some IT.
I just use Command Shift 4 because that's what because I have a Mac, so that's what I do.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh,
Well,
I
let's
can
see.
actually link to share. I think that's it. Well, other than like the McFarlane drops.
Yeah.
God, dude.
Like I actually, please don't mess up those figures in that Batmobile, please, and let us buy them.
Yeah. I think they'll be pretty cool. Hopefully.
So what's the game plan? Are we every man for himself, or am I tasked with putting 3 in my cart immediately?
Oh yeah, I need help. Yeah, I would have figured we'd all be the same because it's even if we have to put up with the task of altering an order.
I mean, if
I
worst
think
comes to
it's worth it just to make sure that we all get a Batmobile.
if worst comes to worst, like I'll just have them all sent to my house and I'll ship them to you guys. Fine.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be
It's
good for that.
it's fine. I know I got to send as soon as I move back to South Carolina, I'm going to be sending Dustin a big old care package of old DVDs.
Ooh.
I have a box of old anime that I'm going to send you that you can't really
Ooh.
find. You can't really find anymore.
He bought like things that you remember when DVDs were like brand new, and so getting anime and stuff was like you had to get that stuff imported.
Yeah.
Or they did like limited runs of everything. That's pretty much he has like massive collections of like anime like that.
Nice.
Like Outlaw Star and
When I was in the military and I joined the Navy, you do boot camp in Chicago, not Chicago, Illinois, and you go to Illinois, and then when you're on leave or whatever, you can go to Chicago and ride the train and stuff. And well, I found old Chinatown, and I went in there, and good God, it was just my mind went crazy. I ended up buying all these box sets of anime shows that I could never find anywhere. I got Trigun box set. I got Outlaw Star box set. I bought like this really crazy Shishomaru Inuyasha figure, and I immediately sent it to Jimmy.
he did. I had the thing for a long time until he like gave me permission. We were talking about something,
Yeah,
and I was
'cause
like, "Oh, I need money." He's like, "Just sell that. I don't care."
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably worth, and I hope it was.
It was. It actually was worth a lot. Yeah, I got a good chunk of change for it.
Yeah, but it was cool because it had the real fur and everything.
Yeah, I'll admit, like it was just I needed money at the time. I wish I still had that figure. It was a great figure.
I know I feel stupid. Should have got two. There's plenty
Also,
of them
this
there.
man everybody knows I'm like the biggest fucking Inframan fan. Obviously, because of my name. This man, before I even knew it existed, he was in Chinatown. Where was it? Chicago?
Yeah, it was yep.
Chicago's Chinatown?
Yep.
He found me when they had released that movie on DVD, like officially, he sent it to me before I even knew it existed, and I flat out fucking cried when I opened that up.
Yeah, because
Because it was in widescreen, it was cleaned up, it had like both audio tracks, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is I never knew."
yeah, it was because if you know me in person, and I'm a pretty big guy, so I'm walking through Chinatown and I look like Godzilla, you know, and they're like, and I'm so happy to buy all this like crazy nerd shit. And they're like, "Oh, please leave, buy everything and leave," you know.
Take up too much floor space.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
Buy
But
everything and leave.
yeah, they were super nice because as soon as they found out I was interested in one thing, they were like, "Let me show you this box."
Oh,
And I'm like, you
hey,
fools.
trying to doing this.
Yeah, I was like spent an entire week like paycheck.
Maybe I can interest you in Vegeta.
Oh, if you saw the crazy GBZ figures that I picked up while I was there, um, they were like they were basically statues. They weren't really figures. The only thing that moved was their arms, and then their chest pieces would come off, and they looked awful. Like,
Yeah.
it looked awful. You had to apply the stickers yourselves. Like you had to put like the Goku little logo on the shirt and everything. And but I had a bunch of them, and yeah, pay. I had a Future Trunks that I think I still have boxed up somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig it out. It's crazy. It looks awful. It's just awful, but but yeah. Uh, but going back to like I said, big purchases. Yeah, we're buying Batmobiles. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like once you look at the picture, you can tell it's going to be the updated version from the new movie, but the changes that they made were like
How different?
minuscule.
How different
It
is
looks
it
like
from?
there's a weird little vent on top of the car now, and it looks like there's some riveting and stuff. It looks like it might have been like armored up or something, but it's like you can't even tell. And the hubcaps are different. I've noticed they're like
Really?
little Batman symbols,
Man,
but
Huh.
yeah,
they're not the little round hubcaps like the first movie. You know, the little bombs.
yeah.
But
Okay, I see what you're saying.
it's close enough to
And
where.
it
Plus,
looks so
somebody
good.
theorized that it might be a single cockpit now.
You know, I was thinking about that. I'm glad you brought it up. I bet that it might be because I know Todd. He does things in his scale to
Yeah.
fit his figures, but he also minimizes them in a way to where they fit. Like it's not an in scale,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like that Bat boat
No,
that just came
yeah,
out.
the
It's
Batboat's a good example.
yeah,
It's not the same scale, but it's
it's not.
big enough for the figures.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the car will fit a single figure, but it'll fit the top McFarlane, which is a 7-inch figure. So if you have a 112 scale, like Mezco Batman or Mezco, or something like that, it will fit.
It'll be fine. It'll be good enough for a display, and it won't be like $300-$400 to have it
Yes,
displayed,
and,
which
and
is
then and then according to Hasbro, it has everything that you need. It has a top, a middle, and a bottom.
slam.
It's has everything that
I'm glad that companies are still doing this stuff where they're just putting just showing people that yeah, this vehicle will not cost. Because I think the price is already up. And it's going to be $80.
Yes. Even
Like
even
that's
Bobby,
already established.
yeah, coming back around to the first conversation we were talking about the Valifair, even Bobby Vallis mentioned it. He was like, "Yeah, it's a $80 car. It's really going to affect how I'm going to sell mine because I don't know how I'm going to pull this off."
Yeah.
And yeah,
But we
yeah.
need more collectibles because I love vehicles, like especially these Motu vehicles and stuff, and not one of them has been over $40.
And then have you seen how? I know
And they're fucking massive too.
people can't see how big this is, but you guys can see just how big this thing is. Look at that.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
it was that big in scale. The way now that I've seen it, I still wish
Yeah.
I'd gotten one of those.
If
It,
you
he's
if you
showing
have a
up the McFarlane Bat Cycle.
yeah, it was part of the the White Knight, story. I think that's what it is.
But yeah, it's because I think it was made for that's the one
Yeah.
with the high boots and the collar and everything.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can get this. You can find this occasionally on clearance, and I've managed to find it for 13 bones on Amazon. And I was like, you know what? I'll take a chance. And
Yeah.
this thing is, I mean, that's my head, you know.
More in your head.
Yeah. So it's ginormous, and it's just cool. I think somebody with talent could probably throw some paint on it and make it look just incredible.
I
Yeah.
always wanted one for my Snake Eyes. I feel like that would have been a good Snake Eyes motorcycle.
There's a few on Amazon. I could send you some links to. So,
Do that because if it's
and
only that cheap, I might can swing it.
I have some really stupid motorcycles in my closet here that oh god, the, the, sometimes I'll see a vehicle and I just can't resist. You know, I have no self control. But
Me and Zach have talked about it, but Dustin, surely this was you too. Growing up, like it was always cool to get a vehicle and a figure.
Yeah.
Like they went together.
yeah,
It's like that you couldn't separate them. You didn't want to buy them separate. So the company's like, yeah, we'll give you the figure to go in the car. I mean, that's why Mask is so popular. It's like
that was what
Transformer cars with people, and it's like, yeah, cool.
my G.I. Joe was so badass. You know, I mean, and then I got this thing I found the
The GI Joe
the Tiger Force Ram cycle.
Second
I don't
Force
know if you
Ram.
can.
Oh.
I know it's very bright. It's very bright. But
I do agree. It was an odd choice not to put the tiger mouth on the front.
it's a weird because you would think
And
like the
putting it
old
on
World
the
War II.
tank.
Yeah, because they have the GI Joe decal on the near the headlight and I can probably show it up. See it's right there.
And they put it on the gas tank for
Yeah,
anybody.
Oh.
yeah.
I'm
It's
sure it's the paint thing. I bet you they couldn't get the paint on that part.
well
However, they're
that's
doing it.
well it's because that's the original. You know,
But it just moved it. I know it's
they're
weird. Correct history because they've been doing
yeah.
it anyway.
Yeah, the only thing that bugs me more than anything is so on the left side you have a wrench sticker. I don't know if you can make it out. It's like a little tiny little wrench. I guess that's like a little compartment where it keeps like side tools.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
On the same side, they opted to put the American flag, but you can't tell on camera. But the American flag is backwards. Like
Oh man.
so.
So you think they reverse paint apps? Because it feels like you want the wrench on the inside too. You wouldn't want it on the outside, and you'd want
Yeah,
people to
like
see your
you
American flag.
yeah, because most of Joe's are right-handed, so you could easily go back there and grab stuff. But
You theorize? I think that's what it might be. They just reverse the stickers.
but the sticker is literally meant to stick on. It's a water slide, so like I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. It's but me being the super patriot, I'm just as soon as I saw that, it was like backwards American flag, huh? G.I. Joe, real American hero. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, just real nice.
Nice.
But yeah. So
Plenty of stuff to talk about next week. I'm sure. I know Mando's not going anywhere. We still got Mando.
yeah, we've got Mando. We got I think Toy Fair's technically still going on, and the only thing that's really been revealed is nothing. I mean, I know I'm wrong, but
If anybody is trying to participate in the Target Haulathon,
yeah, the holothon's going on right now.
Godspeed. I know those are
But
rough every single year.
I don't know if you guys are like NECA guys or not, but I'm not really too big on NECA. Like I'll grab something here and there when I'm really feeling psychotic, you know. But I'm not too big on them.
If it's like a one-off thing, I would, but I haven't bought NECA in a
Yeah,
in a
like
while.
I bought that Ronin because it's like I really enjoyed that book,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it's a good figure. You know, it definitely looks like the source material, you know. And
Yeah.
so every once in a while, you know, NECA will get me, and and I fell victim to that very small turtle that came out. It's not Leo, the spring.
Yeah.
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 I
Yeah, they
forget.
just announced some more of those recently.
Yeah. Not Donatello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Not- not-
Dustin's the one that sent. Yeah, he sent me the pitch.
Yeah. Because
I
that's what he
figured
told
you'd
me.
like that since your favorite's Donatello.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I can't just
I
buy
can't.
it. I'd have to buy all of them, and I can't do it.
I can't in good conscience recommend them. But I was like, man,
They look cool, but they're super tiny.
they're so tiny and so expensive.
Yeah, it's
Because
the
when
price to ratio.
it's like you hold it in your hand and you're like, this is $50, but this this Animal Warriors of the Kingdom is 35 to 38, depending on where you buy it from.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so
Unless
speaking of, I'm hoping to get my Animal Warriors of the Kingdom soon, and apparently I'm going to get my Thunder Tank soon.
I was about to say, apparently you're probably going to get both of them at the same time.
Possibly.
Yeah. So you know what this means?
He's going to have to get a bigger table.
He's going to have to get a bigger table, and he's going to have to repaint it for Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Could get you a sweet decal.
I intended to. What were you saying, Bo?
Oh, I was just saying you could just get you a sweet decal to replace over that Thundercats logo.
Oh yeah.
Just sell some Hasbro figures and buy another tank.
No, I don't want to buy another tank.
This is my
I'm very
Thundercat tank.
curious. Can we look forward to a video unboxing or just something about that Thunder Tank? Because I would like to see video of it.
I feel like you got to do like a short review.
Yeah, I probably will.
I mean, even though I don't want to rep that company, but I will rep your happiness.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, yeah, we're not necessarily like we've just had talks. We're not the biggest fans of Super 7, but I hope it is everything that you want it to be, and I hope it brings you years and years and years and years of joy just looking at it.
Yep.
Because you're not going to be able to not see it because that thing is huge.
Yeah.
You're always going to see it. Outside
and it's
your
either
house,
going to be a
you're gonna be able
regret,
to see it. Yeah.
or it's going to be a happy sight. I don't know.
The astronauts
But
in
regardless,
space.
I'm going to be putting
Tank.
If only you could have used that Eye of Thundera for that fucking buyer's remorse. You know what I'm saying? Give me sight beyond sight.
That would be super ideal. I don't know. I think it'll bring me joy, and it won't make me regret my decision. But I kept it. I went ahead with the order. Well, of course, I went ahead with the order because it's already about to ship. So
yeah.
So
that, and you can't really cancel it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I honestly think it will have good enough resale value. It's just a matter of shipping that thing.
Yeah.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So huge.
Pickup only.
Yeah, seriously, you got to come to here.
The trick is like, is it gonna be like, as soon as it comes home, is it gonna be one of those things you quickly unbox and quickly enjoy, or are you gonna end up being like me and Galactus, where it's like still in the box?
Yeah, I did not know you hadn't unboxed that yet. I just assumed you just surely looked at it by now.
I haven't even touched the tape. It's still factory sealed.
God.
It's basically another box that holds up other boxes right now.
And
right.
How much is it going for online?
Not enough.
Not enough.
You know, like.
Man.
Yeah. So I guess and people are like breaking it up and like selling like the individual figures, and even those aren't going. It's blowing my mind. It's like, apparently, I don't know. I guess everybody got one.
There's like it's either that, or do you think like people are actually kind of getting fed up with Hasbro?
I think they are, because dude, the last earnings call from the Hasbro execs and everything, remember their biggest thing that they mentioned was how did they word it? It was increasing concern of customers on pricing awareness. Like, it was the most crazy worded thing I've ever seen and heard.
They think the
That was,
shit's too expensive.
yeah, that's like, basically we're not giving them what they're paying for, like,
Yeah.
and that was my argument back when I was buying Marvel Legends and talking to Jimmy about them. And I'm like, hey, dude, like, for $20, like, you can't beat that. It's like, it's a nice collectible figure. You get a character that you like, and you get them on the shelf for $20. Yeah, the paint apps aren't the great. The accessories aren't the greatest. It's not like an imported figure. It's not like a Mafex or something like that. But it's enough, at that price point, and that's acceptable. But the moment you start hitting $25, $30,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't raise your quality, you don't include more.
Right.
Like this Spider-Man, like, coming back to what we first started talking about at the beginning of the podcast. Where is it? You asked me the price of that new Spider-Man. I have it here on a tab. It's $34.99 for a reused body, and he comes with web accessories that he can't even grip because they don't include a hand that will grip that hand. So let that sink in.
Yeah, he doesn't come with. Everybody said Spider-Man at this point. He should come with
Every
blade
hand.
hands,
Yes.
whip hands, holding hands, fist.
Yeah. So he comes with 2 fists, 1 flip hand, and 1 open hand.
Mm.
It doesn't
And
come with.
it's a straight up repaint too. It's not.
Yeah, it's a straight up repaint. There's no extra engineering or anything. It's just something we've already got. And like I said, and he comes with web accessories, and he comes with that same web accessory that we always get that he can't even hold because he doesn't even have a grip hand.
A lot of people
And
got burned with that Daredevil too, because that Daredevil was even down to the reuse on the hands. Like it had fingernails. Like Daredevil has red fingernails.
yeah, well,
It was like
all their hands are basically the same,
it's like,
unless they're a big character. If they're a small normal character, all their hands are from the same mold, just molded in whatever color they need, which is insane. But that's, I mean, I hate to go like super negative, like you say, but man, like $35 for, like, you and I know that these paint apps, these are just paint deco. There's no extra sculpting. Like that Spider-Man logo. You remember the PlayStation logo?
yeah.
That whole outfit was like armored and embossed, and it looked really good. But this is just a flat figure that they just put deco on.
You know
There
what?
was
I
no.
didn't even think. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because the white parts are raised.
They're raised. They're
Yeah.
raised on the knuckles and the hands, and then on the forearms, and on the logo, and everything has this really nice, like, look to it. But then they don't even want to go in and do that extra work, but they want to charge me more
Yeah.
and give me less.
I think that's what. Like, did you see like we talked about the reveals? All those reveals were, I was like, they even almost had me with that Doom. I was like, oh man, nostalgia, you hit me right there. But I didn't realize that's part of a 2-pack. Like you have
Yeah.
to get it
Yes. Yeah.
with her. And I was like, I don't want the other figure.
All of those figures they showcased were
Yeah.
pretty much the only ones that weren't 2-packs were the Bucky Cap and the Black Widow, I think, if I remember correctly. The rest of them are all 2-packs.
It's like a kid.
You know.
I don't know. I think they're starting to get desperate now. The whole Ghost Rider fiasco thing,
Yeah, and then
I think, really did them in.
and then they're not even doing like 2-pack pricing. Like, you're actually getting a price increase on a 2-pack. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're like you don't understand the point of getting a 2-pack is that you're supposed to get a discount for buying them both together, whether it be a dollar or two, but still.
Yeah, because
They're
it's a
going. They're
guaranteed sale. You're going to
yeah,
sell this figure, so
yeah, yeah. So get ready to see a lot of Aunt May's, on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Linda McMahon, as I like to call.
baby drug down hip.
Oh God, I don't even. And that body, that's that old one that can't stand up. I loved it when he was trying to, like, he managed to get it perfectly stood up finally on the stream. Yes, there's
remember.
one.
You remember the Galactus stream with that? You could see them sweating bullets. They're like, "Please just stand up and don't
Yeah,
fall."
Yeah, and then all the other figures that they revealed that are coming soon, they all had glued stands on.
I didn't watch it. I didn't.
Yeah, yeah. If you go back and watch it, they all have glued little plastic stands so they can stand them up because they were like, oh no, especially that Emma Frost because she's not standing up. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, Hoss. And then,
goodness.
but yeah, and I'm looking at this pre-order that I have right now. This is my last one, I think, and I still don't know if I should cancel it or not. But it's the Ultimate Cap from Marvel Legends.
Are you you're talking about the other one. I thought you were talking about the Bucky Alex Ross one.
Well, I really want that one too, but because I'm a Cap fan, and but it's the Ultimate Cap. I really like that design, that suit design, when he went to the clean, like, look, and what's it going for? $27.31. That's retail, and I know that if this ships within a week or two, it's going to be on sale.
Yeah,
I would chance just waiting for the sale.
What am I doing? So you think I should just go ahead and just cancel that, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Because,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Doing it right now. Just
look at all the old figures that came out. Like even that, the anniversary cap and spot. Like all those are still available. You can still buy them.
Yeah.
They're still at the same price.
Yeah.
If you really start feeling regret, like they're still there.
Yeah. Ugh.
Ugh. They're pushing people into import prices.
Yeah, I feel like
I told you I never paid more than $100 for a figure, and then cut to me like I got an Inspector Gadget on my shelf.
Yep.
and a Ultraman coming. So, because I'm just tired of the crappy quality and the high prices.
And then me and Dustin just went all in on P Bandai for like 2 months in a row.
Yep.
Yeah, when the import's heavy, and you're happier too ultimately because there's better quality.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I got articulation for days. We got face plates. We got hands. We got.
I'm still playing with them. Playing around with. It's like, I could get this look when he made this look in the show, and
yeah, I keep them close because it's like I'm gonna pull it down and play with that a little bit, but yeah, it's not looking. I don't know. Like I was going to say, like Brian Flynn from Super 7 he's over there just like sooner or later, all figures will be $55.
Who will be the idiot?
Yeah, who will be overpriced then? I'll be like, I don't know. I'm tired of. I'm just. And everybody like.
I think COVID brought out the worst in some people.
Oh yeah. I wonder that Thor that they revealed. They revealed a Thor 2-pack on stream. That thing is gonna be so expensive. It's.
Dude?
Huh?
What comes with that Thor?
A destroyer.
A build the figure. No,
it's like
an
a
army
deluxe
builder.
Like the destroyer, the big thing from Asgard or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
It's huge. It's like because the Thor is basically 95% reuse from the 80th edition Thor Marvel Legends, but it has a new head with a beard and some different paint apps and I think new kneecaps and whatnot. But then it comes with a destroyer that towers him, and then God, that 2-pack. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, that's probably gonna be like $80. And then
Easy.
And then one that almost got me, I don't know if you saw it, but they revealed the Bruce Banner with the first appearance Hulk 2-pack, and it looks pretty decent. But their reasoning for doing stuff is so stupid. they redone that. They have a new head sculpt, and then they made a new upper torso, and they made the upper torso smoother to match the artwork of the original. Like first, where he wasn't like muscles on top of muscles.
Yeah.
So it's like a more smoother pectoral chest and it's just bigger. But the problem is you put that torso on that Hulk that we've already been getting for years. It has muscles on top of muscles, so his arms and torso don't match muscular wise. So you have like a smooth chest, but then like huge veiny arms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what were you thinking, man?
We had to get out a new figure. A
Yeah.
simple repaint wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Not on a whole, because that's very little. I mean, he has like 2 base colors. So we had to do something different.
Yeah. But yeah, if you get a chance, go back and look at all the I know Paterni on Twitter, if you follow him, he has images of everything online, and you can go back and check them out. And I don't know. It makes, like, when you're like, how do you spend so much on a figure? And I'm like, well, when I get something off P Bandai, I know I'm going to be happy with it.
Yeah.
I don't think I have an SH Figure Arts that I'm disappointed in ever. I don't think I've ever had that, which is, I know, pretty cocky, but it's true.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous about the bigger guys, like
the bigger
Piccolo
one.
and
Well, let me dispel those. Be extremely excited because the bigger ones are even better.
really.
Every one that I've got on, the thicker the better. That's the way it is. Like I don't know what it is, but the engineering or whatever. But their joints are so smooth and just great. Like that Broly, the full power Broly, he is a gem.
Yeah, I didn't get the full power Broly, but I got the
Yeah.
Broly.
Oh, he's gonna be good. Yeah, because he's because it allows for more like joint thickness and stuff like that, and they're so good. You'll see. You'll love it. It's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I've got my next few pre-orders like lined up because I'm getting the Broly, I'm getting the Beast Gohan, and
I feel like I peer pressured you into that, Broly. Straight up.
well, I don't know about peer
now.
pressure, but
Yeah.
all I did was I looked at the figure and I'm like looking at the price on Big Bad Toy Store, and I'm like, what do you think? Should we pay this price or not? And I'm like, all right, well,
I'll tell you, man,
better to buy a $70 figure than a $120 figure and regret it later.
I actually stopped collecting, and Zach got me back into collecting. So he definitely peer pressures you. He's like, "Come on, man!
Well,
It's just one."
I can honestly say that I wasn't peer pressured because a friend off Instagram sent me this one, this Gohan that I'm holding, that no one else can see, but yeah, he sent me this Gohan because he had one in his pile of loot, and I was like, yeah, here, you want to see what these are like? Try this one. This is the best one out there. And I'm like, yep, sure enough. And then I bought one with every paycheck afterwards.
That's what Zach does. I straight up said no to Zach. I'm not going to do it, and he will sneakily he'll send you something from Amazon. He will go in, and it's like suddenly you have a package. Like, you got a package at your door, and I'm like, what? And it's an action figure he was trying to get you to buy or something. And then he starts it up. Now here I am with like a bajillion Motu action figures and all sorts of other stuff because he's a pusher. You think he works? You think he worked for these companies?
Wouldn't that be awesome though? Like to have a friend that worked for those companies.
Oh my god, we should get us a spot. Everybody else has got a sponsorship. We should go for one. We should get. Everybody's always getting sent like promo toys and stuff. We need to hook up. We need to look up. I don't know, McFarlane or.
Heck yeah, man! I would take some McFarlane toys.
Or Battleverse. Let's make buddies with them.
Yeah.
Try to get some promo toys.
I'd kill for some promo toys, especially ones that I don't have to pay for. Just yet.
Just get a little sample, get a little something. We just got to promise to review it on the show.
You get me on the Valorverse train? Yeah. Oh, you want to come join?
Fans of the show were going to miss out on
yeah.
the horrible son, who he is also training to be he's already a nerd. Sent us a video of him watching what was it, Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, we were watching the superhero movie last night. It was great.
He was completely engrossed.
He was fighting sleep and watching it. It was great.
I think it's one of the first photos I ever seen of him was his reaction to watching He-Man cartoons, and his face was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Oh man. See there? There's a ball. There's a ball right there. But yeah, we're gonna. I know we're gonna go get some new shoes.
New shoes? He already wear out his old ones?
Well, the ones we got were snowshoes, and
okay.
so they're like all padded weird, and like but he doesn't have any real shoes, and now that he's walking and running around like crazy, it's time for real shoes. And they got this like cool thing at the shields where you can kind of stand him up and it'll measure his feet and tell us exactly what kind of shoes we need to get him.
Also, for anybody that can't see, which is everybody, I guess, just the most majestic mullet I've ever seen in my entire life.
I only trim these sides here.
It's a beautiful mullet. It's a mullet from heaven. It's angelic.
Oh, this thing.
Well, we'll have. I'm sure by the next time we talk, we'll have plenty of stuff. We got another Mando. I'm sure you'll have at least voice shipments by then.
Oh yeah. You should have oh my god. So you'll either be super happy about the tank or really angry.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. I know all of us are too. And
then Animal Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which
join our Discord.
The joints look so smooth.
You're gonna love them. They're great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, as always, I enjoyed my time with you. Good.
I know. And then that headshot.
Yeah,
perfect.
I will actually put a producer credit on this, and I'll try and drop it in the Geek-Men thing, so people know what the hell.
Well, isn't Craig our recording? The Craig recorder, Bob, isn't that technically a producer credit?
He's our key grip.
For tax purposes, yes, Craig is everything. It's all Craig.
All Craig. It was all his idea too.
Send all complaints to Craig at Craig.
Craig, yeah. If you'd like to cancel Craig.
If you'd like to cancel Craig, yeah.
Hashtag me too, Craig.
Me too, Craig. Next thing you know, we're going to just see a bunch of hashtags and tweets of people defending Craig. We stand with Craig. You got thuck.
He's a creeper. He records everything you say and do.
Oh, this thing feels weird. Ugh.
Oh boy.
Well, right. Everybody have a good listeners included. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Yep. Until next time.
Until next time.
Oh.
Later.
Boom.